telling stories when we all heard what sounded like a little girl yelling out for help and decided to search the area together. There was a field behind our campsites, and we all saw a very tall, pure white figure standing maybe 100 feet from us, making noises. We all agreed this thing looked maybe 6 feet tall, skinny, and white as can be. We made our way closer to investigate, but whatever it was we saw started backing off as we got closer, and it disappeared into the trees. All night we continued to hear a little girl calling for help as we tried to sleep. Okay, that's super creepy. It kind of makes me think that maybe it was like okay, I don't want to say this word, because apparently even if you say it, it's like bad juju. So I'm gonna put it up on the screen. This next one is called The Walking Dead. I'm a psychiatric nurse, and early in my career, I worked at a residential mental health facility. One of our residents was an elective mute, which means that he didn't, wouldn't, couldn't talk, but there was no medical reasons as to why. He had spoken earlier in his life, and he in fact seemed quite normal back then, with the exception of being close to 7 feet tall. He'd been raised in the deep south and joined the military when he was 19. But one night he vanished. He was declared AWOL. Wait a minute, what does that mean? AWOL. Okay, that means absent without leave. Wait. Without official leave. Okay. And eventually he was declared missing and dead. 10 years later, a 7-foot tall man walked into a VA hospital. I think that means Virginia. Okay, so it's either Virginia or Veterans Administration. Anyway. I'm like, oh, people are gonna think I'm such a dumbass, okay? He walked into a VA hospital emergency room in my part of the Midwest. I'm from the Midwest. And said to the receptionist, "My name is Marion Tuchny. I can't pronounce his name. Anyway, that's not his real name, so it's not that important. And I've been dead for 10 years. Those were the last words he ever spoke. He was covered with dust, and he was wearing the same clothes he'd been reported to be wearing the night he vanished. His social security number had not been used, and he had no identification his mouth that looked like talking or muttering, but no sound came out. He had an unnerving habit of throwing his head back with his mouth wide open, as if he were laughing heartily. But not even a breath could be heard. I talked to him. He appeared to listen, periodically throwing his head back in that laughter-mimicking way of his. Various medications were tried, but they did not affect him either positively or negatively. Occupational therapy did nothing because Marion would just grin, and unless told to stay put, he'd get up and start pacing again. On my last day at that job, the last thing I saw was Marion pacing in the parking lot, throwing his head back to laugh. Later I wondered if all along I'd been dealing with a ghost. All these years later, I still don't know. It's just so weird though, like, he went missing for 10 years, bro. And then he just shows up again. I think it's a ghost, guys. I think that's a ghost. This next story is called The Unrest Stop. I was driving across country with my mom and my sister when I was 16, and my sister was 20. It was late, but we were all rested, still on alert. We were driving along an interstate and needed gas and a bathroom break. So we stopped at the only rest stop in 200 miles. There was a van full of teenagers on a road trip at the gas station, as well as a small gray car parked at the pump in front of us, with two young men standing still outside of it. When we got there, everything felt wrong. We've been on the road for days and seen many rest stops at night, and have never been afraid until then. My mom and sister went inside, and I stayed inside the car. I heard the teenagers say they were creeped out and couldn't get the pump to work, and they left in a hurry. Uh-oh. I was watching the car in front of us, and the two men had not moved at all. Not an inch. They weren't talking. They weren't on phones. They were just standing there, still as stone. My sister and mom came running back out to the car, and when they got in, the two men slowly turned to look at us, while not moving or pivoting the rest of their bodies. And I swear to fucking shit, we all said the same thing. They had eyes dark as pitch, truly empty, not black, not reflecting any light at all, just a void. We sped out of there and didn't stop until we were in the next city. The worst thing about the entire experience, we couldn't find a place on any map. We knew exactly which spot in the interstate to look. We couldn't find it on Google Maps or any paper map we had. We even asked locals about the creepy gas station out on the stretch of road and got only confused looks. We've traveled on that interstate since, and there is no rest stop. That makes me so freaking uncomfortable. Oh my gosh. Okay, this next story is called It Came for Us in the Graveyard. Okay, we were driving my friend's really old beat-up Subaru through a massive graveyard. We stopped and walked down a hill, and it came across a little pond. There was someone sitting on a rock on the other side of the pond. The figure was all black, and we couldn't make out any features other than seconds or so, we'd hear it. Nobody was outside. Oh my god, why do I feel like somebody's watching me right now? I mean, you guys are watching me, but I mean, I feel like... Okay, anyway. No. Nobody was outside from what we could see in the dark, but something was making a noise from the car. I opened my phone and started dialing my mom to come give us a boost, but I had no service. None of us had any cell service. Oh my god. The next 30 minutes were spent trying to get her car started. Oh my god. Half an hour. Spooky, spooky, spooky. No banging was heard afterwards, but we felt this heavy pressure around us. Finally, the car started, and she hit the pedal to the metal. We sped out of the graveyard so fast, immediately crossing the gates. All of our phones regained cell service. One thing I know for certain is that someone or something was out there, and it was not an animal or a human. Oh my god, that is so scary. Okay, first of all, what the heck were they doing in a graveyard? That's what I want to know. Okay, I think this one. Okay, I think this next one's gonna be a good one. It's called "It Was Good to See an Old Friend." Okay. When I was 37, I went to my high school reunion. I flew into the nearest airport and rented a car. The distance was about 35 miles through a very rural and almost abandoned part of the country. About 3 miles outside of town, I saw someone on the side of the road flagging me down. It turned out that it was one of the guys I had attended school with. Jim, this isn't his real name by the way, gets in the car and we start talking. I had not seen him in 20 years, but he still looked the same, maybe a little older. We get to town and I ask him if he wants to come to the VFW and have a drink. I'm guessing that's the reunion or the bar. Anyway, he says, no, just take